Hello and greetings, Arcada here. Just wanted to, kind of sit back and, chat a bit on the state of the channel, as it were. Just, giving a quick look at where we've been, what is going on now, and where we are going. Looking back here at some stats of where we've been, it's actually still kind of amazing. Like, I was amazed back when I hit, 100,000 subscribers a couple of weeks ago. But just actually looking at how many subs I had, January 1st, and then how many I have now, and how many I'll probably have by the end of the year, is like mind-blowing. On January 1st, I had 6,560 subs. Give or take 10 subs. And now, of course, I am over 100, I'm at like 108,000, give or take. That's a lot of people in a year. That is no doubt the majority of my subscriber base is all in 2013. And that is, you know, kind of cool, kind of amazing, and I appreciate all of you guys, because you guys are pretty awesome. 2013 has been a pretty good year. Got a number of really notable reviews out, a number of videos I'm very proud of. Some I'm just kind of about. Had a good time during the summer when I was going weekly, and then when the fall kicked in, I had to move to a bi-weekly schedule because going weekly has this problem where, from a production standpoint, I can do it. I can make a review a week, but I can't watch anime while I'm doing it. So, at like near the end of the summer, I got to this point where, yeah, I could make a review a week, but I had nothing to review because I didn't have time to watch anything. So it was a nice little catch there. So I switched to bi-weekly at that point, and that worked out well. So I've learned a lot this year. And I'm continuing to learn. Looking at the channel at present, I feel I should answer some questions that have been coming up. And then we can move into the future. In regards to Content ID, the big, wonderful Content ID apocalypse has been hitting YouTube. People have been asking, has this been affecting you at all? Has it been? Because it seems to be affecting everybody else. Everybody seems to like crying this is the end of YouTube. And I'm finding the whole situation kind of hilarious, actually. Mainly because I've been dealing with Content ID on YouTube since I came back a year and a half ago. Content ID has always been there to me. It hasn't been something that just magically appeared. I will admit I have gotten a few extra Content ID notifications since this whole debacle began, but nothing like really out of the ordinary. Nothing that has caused me to like scream, "Oh my god, we're all gonna die!" What the situation has actually brought to light to me that actually I never knew about is I didn't know that there were channels on YouTube that were exempt from Content ID. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought everybody had to deal with it. So that's why I was a little perplexed when this thing came about, because I was like, well, doesn't everybody already deal with Content ID? Apparently not. So now that it's becoming mainstream, where most people are having to deal with it, the problem is coming to light, as it were. And that's good for me, because hopefully if they end up changing things, it makes my life easier. But if they don't change anything, well, nothing really changes for me, because I make sure my videos are edited in ways that hopefully Content ID doesn't bug it, or if it does, I don't really care because of whatever it is I'm editing, and that works out fine for me. I'm okay with it. My only hope is that the system doesn't get worse, because if it gets worse, then I start to have problems. But at present, it hasn't been bothering me really much more than it already has always been doing since I started. So I realize how bad it is because I've been dealing with it. But there's nothing new. Let me say that. It's nothing new. So it's kind of funny how things have been changing. Another thing is what is planned between now and the end of the year. Right now I'm filming this late at night on the 17th, but you probably won't be watching this until the 18th, depending on where you are on the planet, or if you're watching this from far in the future, which is, you know, always possible. Currently my plans, as far as reviews go, is I have 3 videos planned between now and the end of the year. 2 of which are reviews, 1 of which is a rant. All 3 of them are related to each other, and you are getting all of them on right before Christmas. Like literally, day, bang, bang, bang. Depending on when I have them done, you'll either get them on the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, or you'll get them on the 23rd, 24th, 25th. Depending on how things go. I think it's probably going to be 23rd, 24th, 25th, because it gives me an extra day to make sure everything gets done. Because I also have Christmas stuff, unfortunately, to go off and do, so I don't have as much time as I would like. But it means you're getting 2 reviews, basically on Christmas, and as a nice little gift to you guys. So I hope you enjoy them. And there's a rant in the middle of it that I felt that I needed to do, mainly because I wanted it to be part of the first review. but then I realized it made the review hella too long because I'm actually trying to keep the lengths of the review anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes right now. So who knows how it's going to end up now, but, excuse me. I felt that the rant really needed to be separate, because then it gets its own separate dialogue going in the comments and so forth. So it's getting its own thing. Don't know how that's going to go, but we'll see. We'll see. So it's 3 videos, all of which should be awesome, and that's going to be cool. I'm saying this because I want to point out another thing, in that going by my bi-weekly schedule, the next time a video should actually come out for me is the weekend following Christmas. But because I'm doing these 3 things on Christmas, that is obviously not happening. But then 2 weeks from there, I might not even have another video out, and I want to explain to you why. Firstly, it's Christmas. I'm sure you're going to be doing things. Some people are, some people aren't, and that's fine. But I'm going to be. I'm going to be, like, run ragged all across Southern Ontario, visiting relatives and so forth, trying to celebrate the holidays with them. And I'm basically doing that from this weekend, like the 23rd, all the way up until basically New Year's. Then I'm get to be here at home for a few days to celebrate New Year's itself, and then I'm gonna go and spend 5 days down in Maryland. So yes, for those of you who may or may not be joining me, I will be at MagFest this year for all 4 days that it happens to be happening. So that's like the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th? I think it's weird, because I believe I'm going down for 4 days and 5 nights, so that we're not completely exhausted when we take the 8-hour trip by car back up to Ontario. But yes, I am going to MagFest, and that may or may not affect the channel slightly. Normally it wouldn't affect the channel, and normally I wouldn't let a convention affect the channel. It didn't last year when I went to Anime North, because I had the Angel Beats review all ready and set to go for the convention, but this time, it just because of how everything else is timed with Christmas and everything, it's just not possible. Unless I took the 3 reviews I was planning to put out on Christmas and spread them out, but that's just needlessly doing that, and I might as well just give it to you guys, and then you get some time off from me for a bit. But that's cool. So, between Christmas and me going to MagFest, and then me actually having to produce the video after that, if after Christmas I basically disappear until like halfway through January, I am not dead. I am merely trying to do things and deal with a lot of other things that are happening. And if you are going to MagFest, I hope to see you there, because that would be quite awesome. Though you may be wondering, because when I've spoken about going to conventions in the past, I've always said that I've never had money for it. And technically, I don't really have money to go to MagFest, but I'm going for a number of reasons. First reason I'm going is because I owe some people some things. Some of the people I'm specifically going there to meet, I owe them for various things that they have done for me. For example, both Sin Wicked and Dax Strife helped me out with my subscriber live stream a couple of weeks back. They were some of my mods for the chat room, and they got swamped heavily, and they really helped me out for the night, so I owed them. And even though I can help Sin out whenever because we live in the same building, the same cannot be said about Dax, so I'm going to go down and help him out. Second reason is that there are a lot of people that I would like to meet that are going to be at MagFest, because on top of being running my own YouTube channel, I also follow other people on YouTube, and I follow other people in the internet in general, and there are a lot of people I follow that's going to be at this convention, so I feel like I might as well go. And thirdly, it's another excuse to meet some of you guys. I won't meet all of you, obviously. I might not even meet many of you. But I will meet, hopefully, at least one person, and if I can at least meet one person, that makes the con for me. So while I technically can't really afford to go, I can just barely squeeze my way through by, like, cramming myself into a room with who knows how many other people, cramming myself in a car for 16 hours, 8 there, 8 back. Not the most comfortable of trips, but I think overall it'll be worth it. So if you're down in MagFest, follow me on Twitter so I can basically try and keep everybody informed as to where I am and where I may or may not be while at the con. And I hope to see you there. That's going to be cool. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, if you saw my last video, the sort of test, as it were, I am in preparation of possibly, and I say possibly because until it actually happens, as with everything with me, until it actually happens, it may not actually happen, but I am in the process of testing the waters, as it were, for a possible gaming channel. What does this mean? It means a bunch of things. First and foremost, it means absolutely nothing's gonna change here on this channel. At all. I've made it a strict point, because I actually was hoping to do a gaming channel and have that set up back in September, but because the only way to have done so at the time would have been to cut back an effect on the main channel and the main reviews that I've been doing, I decided not to. So that has always been my first priority, is to make sure that whatever I do with the second channel or whatever else I do in the future, it does not affect this channel and my reviews, because everybody really likes those. That's what I'm known for, so I might as well keep doing it. But the overall reaction was fairly positive. There were two general reactions to the video. There was the, oh my god, yes, I hope that this works out. And then there was the big doom and gloom, and it's just like, oh, this is the worst time to make a gaming channel with all this copyright ID stuff. But really, I think it's actually the best time to make it. Because if you can make a channel now and make it work with all this content ID stuff, you can probably handle anything. So I figure you might as well do it now when there's a bunch of problems, and then hopefully in the future things become a lot safer for gaming channels, rather than just waiting it out until some unknown possible time. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do. And it also means that I start the channel knowing the restrictions. If you research it, you can figure out the content ID system as far as gaming goes a lot. And you can also research what publishers allow certain things and what publishers don't. So like if I make a video with Nintendo stuff in it, yeah, I can make it and put it up on my channel. I just can't expect to monetize it. And the other thing is I don't really care about monetization when it comes to my gaming channel, because I'm not going to try to make a living off of it. The gaming channel is going to be the kind of thing of where I'm going to make videos, and if you subscribe to it and watch it, great. And if you enjoy that, great. But I'm not going to be relying on it for anything. And if I happen to make money off of it, yeah, that's cool. But it's not a priority, as it were, because I don't care. Anyway, but yeah, it is going to be kind of interesting. I'm still testing my options of exactly what I want on the channel. The test, if you have not seen it yet, might give a small example of what I would like to do. I wouldn't want to do like full-on Let's Plays. In that, like, if I was to do Skyrim, there's a lot of Skyrim where I think would be boring. Like, you wouldn't want to see me traveling, you wouldn't want to see the entire journey like if I went from Windhelm to Markarth. You wouldn't want to see the majority of that, because it's just going to be me running over some hills, occasionally running into a fox. Like, things like that is not that interesting. But if I run into some bandits, maybe that'll be cool. So what I would probably end up doing in that situation is I would show the journey, but I would like cut to the interesting bits, and that would be the video. There's also been some discussion as to what else I could possibly be doing. Some people are just like, oh, you should make it all about JRPGs and possibly RPGs, but JRPGs in general, because you are an anime person and you are only allowed to do anime related things. But who says I'm supposed to only do those? That doesn't make sense. Also, I think JRPGs are probably some of the worst games to try and Let's Play. Because think about it. Like, if I was to do, like, I know this is cliched to say, but if I was to do, for example, Final Fantasy VII, or any of the Final Fantasies, let's just throw that out there. What's actually in the game from a spectator's standpoint, right? You have a bunch of corridors, and you go from point A to point B, and you run into a lot of random battles. Now, I know, like, other games are worse off than that than others, like Final Fantasy XIII is basically all just corridors, but a lot of the other games are very similar to that. They're not really corridors, they're more like mazes, and you get random battles in them. And then there's the boss battles, which, like, even, like, a lot of the boss battles could take anywhere from half hour to an hour, and it's just the quick time system. What was that called? The QTB system or something? Either way. And I'm just looking at that because I did... A couple of years back, I did do a partial Let's Play of a PS1 game called Legend of Dragoon. And while that was fun for me because it was fun to play it, I always got the feeling that it was not that fun to watch because there was a lot of boring shit. And like, as I said with the Skyrim video, I would cut out the boring shit. That would be the majority of the video game. So I don't know if that's like the perfect kind of game to Let's Play. Maybe if it was like I would need to figure out the best way to actually go about doing JRPGs, but just like me thinking about it very briefly, it doesn't seem to be like the best of ideas. The other example that was pointed out is people would love to see me doing Let's Plays of visual novels. And for the most part, I'm against this. And let me tell you why. One of the biggest arguments against Let's Plays in general by most people is that if you watch someone do a Let's Play of a video game, there's the potential that you will not want to buy and play that video game yourself because you've already seen what happens. Now, the main argument against that viewpoint is that everybody plays video games differently. So your experience playing the video game would be different than someone else. You will not play Skyrim the same way someone else plays it. You will not play Borderlands or Mass Effect the same way other people play. And that is a very solid argument. I don't feel that that argument can be applied to visual novels because they're not really games per se. They literally are visual novels. You are reading a book that has nice pictures, and occasionally you have a choose your own adventure type of thing, is basically what it is. So if I was to do a visual novel and do it 100% and show all the paths and everything, by the end of it, whatever game it was, you would have no reason to pick it up and play it yourself because you have already seen everything, and that kind of takes away from the game itself. And I feel that's sort of less on the moral high ground as far as Let's Plays go, because anyone that watches you will have no reason to play the visual novel themselves or experience it themselves. They've already experienced it. Yes, through you and with your commentary or your narration or you, like, telling, this person calmly walked down the corridor and things like that. But it's just, yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. Now, you could argue that what I could do is I could do Let's Plays of visual novels like Karawata Shoujo, which is free. So I'm technically not taking away any monetary value from anyone because the game is free anyway. But then even then, I would argue that another reason why I probably wouldn't want to do visual novels is that, let's say I took a visual novel and went start to finish in one arc. If I was to do another arc, there's a lot of things that repeat from the first arc because there are a lot of similarities in how some things are done. Like, different visual novels do things different ways, granted. But there is this portion that will always be repeated, and that part might get boring. I could skip it potentially, but even then, it would be kind of weird. If I was to do visual novels, I would take a visual novel and I would probably just play one arc. Either pre-planned out so I know where I'm going and I know what choices to make, and this is the arc I would play through and react to, or I would just play through it not knowing anything, like not looking at a walkthrough, and then just picking random choices depending on how I'm feeling at the time, and seeing where it leads me, regardless if I get a good ending or not. Which still leaves a lot of arcs available for people who want to go and play the thing themselves, and possibly true endings depending on the visual novel itself. So those are a bunch of ideas that I've been mulling over, and not entirely sure what's going to end up happening, but yeah, I just wanted to throw those out there just to answer and respond to some of the ideas. Another thing that people suggested is, on top of the channel itself, is to get a Twitch stream going up, which originally I would be like, but I don't got the internet for that. But I am actually getting the internet for that, because I just ordered new internet that should get installed come the new year. And I should hopefully have a decent upload speed so I could actually do like a at least 720, if not higher, gaming stream, which would be like kind of awesome. No idea how that's gonna go. Again, like any of my plans, until it actually happens, expect nothing because it might not happen. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up. But that's another idea. And of course, anytime I get a multiplayer game and I have some friends around, I might just play the multiplayer game and record it and then edit the funny bits into montages and so forth. Maybe people will find that interesting. There's a lot of things I still don't know about the channel, and the ultimate thing about it is that if you're not interested in it, you don't have to watch it, because it's going to be on a separate channel. I don't get why some people thought it would be on this channel, even though I specified that it's getting its own channel in the test video. I guess it's just one of those things where people didn't actually watch the whole video. It's potentially they might not watch this whole video. That's could totally be. But no, it's not coming on this channel. The most you'll ever see on this channel from this point on when it comes to the gaming thing that I'm planning is that there will be a video, again, announcing it when it's actually up. And then every couple of months, I may put in a montage video on this channel just to point new subscribers to this channel over to it in case they didn't know it existed. Beyond that, everything on this channel is going to be basically business as usual. So yeah, to sum up, we've had a very awesome year. We had over 100,000 and some odd subscribers gained since January, which I think is amazing, and I hope continues. I'd love to be able to sit here next year and say that I had over 200,000. If I don't get it, I'll be fine with that, because I'm cool with the subscriber base I have. If I don't get anyone else for the rest of my life, I'm probably pretty cool with the amount of people I got right now, but I will accept anybody else that joins. I have no problem with that at all. Because you guys are all great. Second thing, Content ID hasn't really been affecting me because there's nothing new. I've been dealing with it since the beginning of time, basically, and that's cool. 3 reviews coming up for, well, 3 videos rather. 2 reviews, 1 rant coming up for just before Christmas. And that'll be cool. And then if you don't see me until like halfway through January, I am not dead. As always, follow me on Twitter for more updates. I'm going to MagFest. See you there if you're going to be there. And plans for the gaming channel are continuing. Though no guarantees in anything. I may never speak of it again after this moment, and you might never hear about it, ever, because I may think it's the stupidest idea I've ever come up with in my life. I don't think it is, but that could be. So, until those reviews get done, because even though they're written right now, I have to film them and edit them and get them ready to go before I have to disappear this weekend for Christmas. So yeah, till that time, stay frosty, everyone.